Hello, Brother Monroe here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts and to the Portuguese campaign, where we are technically at war with the Scandinavians, but I'm pretty sure they have plenty to keep them busy. So, what I would like to do straight away is to start building some new heavy cruisers. So we've got the two Eternus class under construction. I think we need to build on our very successful heavy cruisers and make them faster so that they can run away from nasties that have 18-inch guns and other such horrible things that apparently exist. So we could go for a 10. We could go for a 10,000 tonner. Do you know what? Let's go for an 11. I have gone narrow on the beam. I might. Well, how big are the Bartholomews? See, they're 11. Maybe we want to go no reduction on the beam and 12. That's maximum displacement. Right, 30 knots. And of course, this will be the Nario. In honor of the ship that didn't sink, but was beyond economical repair. Right, use the good tower. Yep, single funnel. And tower. That's extremely minimal. Okay, cool. And then we want to keep our 10. I mean, the 10-inch has been extremely successful. I think it would make sense to keep it. We are basically putting. In fact, what we could argue is that the Navio Afundado survived the battle. One of the most difficult things to make when you are, one of the most time-consuming things to make when you're building a warship of this era are the guns. Well, we have the exact same weapons here. 10-inch 45 caliber Mark IIIs. So basically what we're doing is we are taking the guns off the old ship and putting them on a new one. I like that idea. So an entirely new hull, but basically with the same armament. Now they did have a bunch of 4-inch guns, which are useful. I have an idea. Let's see if we can get it to work. Move those forwards. I'm going to move these aft. Because what I think I can do... Yeah, if I use a short secondary barbette, and T-keys, by the way, if you didn't know, you could rotate parts. With some secondaries, because we could have some secondary 5-inch firing over the top. I'm going to go with triples. Yes, they're not very good at the moment, but you know, we've got to start somewhere, and we've got to learn how to make triple guns better. And then maybe a pair of turrets on the side as well. So we've got all around secondary firepower from those 5-inch guns, helpful against destroyers. And then we've got the big 10-inch guns. And we can do 30 knots, which is a solid ship, I would argue. Alright, let's get everything thrown on to start with. That doesn't leave me very much for armour, is the only thing. 130. Okay, okay. So, well, let's get the guns set up properly. So these things... Yeah, high explosive, I think we're mostly concerned about the 10-inch gun performance. I'm going to go Cap Ballistic. I'm going to stick with that. Right, armour. I'd love a 10-inch main belt. That would be fantastic. We definitely want to keep out any 5-inch fire. Ideally, we'd be able to keep out a 6-inch gun. That's a bit more tricky. Let's go 3-inch, fore and aft. Deck pen isn't very high. I think we don't need to go crazy on the deck armor. I am building this for the future. That is much thicker than we need, but that should stop us taking deck hits from long range from bigger ships. And then probably 12 on the turret, 12 for 10 or something, and then 2, 1.5, something like that. Problem is, we are massively, massively overweight. Now, potential ways to save weight. We could trial triple guns, but triple guns really are suffering quite a lot compared to a twin gun setup. Fuel is still very heavy. Let's dump that out. The engines are quite heavy. How does this actually help? What would this do for me? Oh, it's only 1%. Yeah, let's not bother with that. Tower is relatively heavy. The bulkheads are relatively heavy. Okay, mid-belt is extremely heavy. I'd love the 10-inch, but I don't think it's realistic. I think we're going to need to go down to 8. And then 10 on the turrets. We could go full all or nothing. We don't need that extra high explosive protection at the moment. We could trim this down, trim this down. Trim all that. 2%. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Trim that a bit. Trim this. Oh. Trim it again. Barbed armor is there, but it's just a splinter-proof bulkhead. Okay, it's slightly compromised on the protection I would desire, but I think the original concept of a Bartholomew Deus that is fast has been achieved. Look at that. So we've taken an existing design that we know is good and just made it fast. I think I think that's pretty good. And we get enhanced secondary firepower to boot. What year is it? Like 1920? I think, heavy cruiser like this in 1925, say, when she's actually built, that would be a pretty solid ship, I would argue. Obviously, treaties and stuff in real life would mean that 10-inch guns wouldn't be here, but yeah, I'm in favour. Yes, please. I don't know how many I'm going to be able to build straight away, though. 107 minus 68. 12. Wow, I could build 3 right off the bat. Okay, let's do that. Let's build 3. These will be largely replacing the Bartholomews, seeing as how similar they are, but just, faster. So we will slowly start replacing these once these are ready. Is my plan. And, yeah, we can roleplay it as the guns being removed from these and being put on the new ships in an effort to save money, I guess. But also to keep a bit of history, etc. And I will just reuse the names of the class. Okay. Very good. Very good indeed. Right, well, let's see if the Scandinavians are going to explode. Well, here's something interesting. Britain and the US are still going at it. They've taken the eastern US and Maine. Very interesting. Unfortunately, the Britain pieced out with Scandinavia before finishing them off. So I have the battlecruisers just blowing up Copenhagen, which is getting me victory points, and I sent the battleships to go and take Iceland, because we could steal Iceland. Yeah, no problem. And then maybe they'll talk about a surrender. If not, we'll just try and eliminate them, I guess. I mean, I guess I could take Copenhagen, but it is quite isolated for us. Just want it in the war so we can get back to growing the economy. I've been spending money hand over fist, but we still got plenty of money from when we defeated the United States. A Block 2 of the new cruisers is under construction as well. And that will replace most of the Bartholomew. I think we need to build another 3 after that. So we're getting there. The battle cruisers, though, Eternus is finished, and Methredos Mares is about to finish as well. So I think I might have a look at another battle cruiser design next turn. But I just wanted to see... Now, all of these are messed up because I installed a updated file. So none of this makes any sense. they're all jumbled. It's just because of the way the game works. It shouldn't be jumbled for you when you're playing it. So it says we were about to get the 15-inch Mark III. But I thought I already had the 15-inch Mark III. So what I have to do is I have to go into the game and actually into the builder and actually check. Oh, okay, yeah, Mark III 15-inch on the way. That's good. Mark III 14-inch as well. But I think that's what we already have, isn't it? Yes. So, are they Mark IIs then? They don't look like Mark IIs, but I guess they could be. Sorry, this is not the not the best thing. I'm trying to click between these screens and the game is chugging. Yeah, that is a Mark II. Okay, well maybe we want to do an immediate refit of the Eternus then, as soon as they're finished. I don't often do that, but we could. Right, let's stick a priority in this. That should help a bit. Oh, we're getting a battle. The Ingrid, a Gudrun class, has shown up. Oh, I didn't even know the Scandinavians had anything to even try and challenge us taking Iceland. Well, that's fun. Weather's pretty horrible, but I don't think that's particularly unusual for this part of the world. And there were these poor ships thinking that they were going to get retired soon. I mean, they are going to get retired soon. It's just the Portuguese ability to build ships is quite limited. Not just the shipyards themselves, but money. Like, it is... We are... You know, we don't have a lot of money in the budget. Really need to finish this off. Mind you, I think once we take Iceland, especially now, we have the opportunity to sink a battleship. We will be in a much better place. At least I hope so. Right, let's keep hammering away. How about arm piercing? Have a little bit better chance. They are quite angled, I am aware of that. There we go. Conning tower taking a hit. All the shells going over the top. It's weird because it's actually an increased draft ship. There you go. Took out a casemate. A lot of shells going over the top. Really seem to be obsessed with destroying the bridge. You've already destroyed the bridge, chaps. shells are actually... Is that a collider issue? Ship seems blessed in that they aren't taking any hits to the hull. Oh, there, it took some, but they bounced off. That's fine. Look at that. That ain't right. How are they pulling that off? Cells are going right through them almost. Right, if you're going to shoot like that, you might as well fire higher explosive. There you go. At least getting some damage in now. All you're going to hit is the tower, superstructure, and occasionally a 4.5 bit. Might as well fire high explosive. Weird. Bashed in the bow stern so much that the ship is just starting to fall apart. Go down 3% float, 2%, 1%. There we go. That was a weird battle. Very weird. Still a victory, which is the main thing. Lots of victory points for me. Yes, we agree. That won't go through until this completes in 2 turns, though. There we go. As I thought, a peace deal after taking... I guess we could take Greenland. We could take Greenland. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right, let's get the ships home. Let's switch to peacetime operations. Limited. We can cut this back finally. I can cut this back so that we're still positive on the money. Okay, there we go. Good. Right. I'm going to get everything back, sorted out. Any ships that need dents taken out of them, we'll do that. Actually, I don't think anything is getting repaired, is it? No, it's not. It's just the 2 battlecruisers on the way back. Okay, then we're going to do a very weird thing. We're going to insta-refit the Eternus. Something the Royal Navy does at the moment, where it's like, oh, we finished the ship and then... because it took us 10 years to build the ship, we realised that actually there's a bunch of stuff we should have done to it to start with. So we'll just fix that, shall we? Right, so 15-inch Mark IIIs. Okay, they look the same. That's actually helpful. Are there any other improvements we can put on? We can put them on RDF. That's quite handy. The TNT 3, also quite handy. We still don't have any new armors. No, nothing. Oh, shaft 3. Yeah, we can fix up a couple of things with the design. I can double check it for any errors, but I think we're all good. Okay, there we go. So they're getting a 2-month like, okay, you know, take them out, see trials. Like, these guns aren't quite as good as we used to, and you know, we could maybe fix this up, and that prop shaft needs doing. So that's fine. They'll just go in for a cheeky little 2-month refit. And then I'd like to look at a successor class, potentially. Alright, welcome back. Yes, a new battlecruiser. So the Eternus is 34,000 tons. We now have the battlecruiser 5. I love this hull. Do we try and push them to 32 knots? No, I think we'll keep them at 30. Just to save a little bit of displacement. A little bit of weight for other things. And the Eternus were 34, so it would make sense that these were about 36. Okay. Oil. Juice. Click. Click. Clickety click. Wow! So many towers. Goodness. So, let's look at base accuracies. 15. 16, 17, 18, 23. They just get better and better and better. 30. Yeah, 30 is the best one I've seen. Which is funny that it is the Modern Tower 4 enhanced. Which it doesn't fit, which is annoying. It have to be the Modern Tower 3 enhanced. With 28 base accuracy, is superior to the Modernization Giga Control Tower, which awesome name, but yeah, not as good. Weird. Mind you, 28 versus 24. This is way lighter. Let's go with this one. It is stupidly sized, though, is the only thing. That is using a different scale to the rest of the ship. Look at the size of the windows on the bridge. That is just scaled totally wrong. And that's not a go at anybody in particular, but all of those towers look ridiculous. Look, here's the tower I was going to use. Look at the size of the bridge windows, right? And then this thing, like, they're clearly using just completely different scales. So we'll go with this one then. This game is so weird sometimes, right? It's probably just a cruiser tower that they've used the bigger is better rule on. Really, none of those fit. What's going on with this hull? Doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. Doesn't fit. This is a standard beam, by the way. Doesn't fit. That one does. Guess I could use that one. I really don't want to, though. It's not a huge fan of that one, but okay. Put it there. See, now I don't... So much been taken up by... Yeah, this is feeling like it should have triples with the way it's turning out. That'll do. I did unlock a new triple tick. Screw it. We've got to try something. Let's try triples. Our first triple armed capital ship. But on this hull, I think it just makes sense to only have the 3 turrets, given the weirdness with the superstructures. Secondary weapons. Now, Eternus had a pretty good secondary arm. We had casemate 6s, we had twin 6s, we had 3-inch guns. I don't feel like I have as many options here. Yeah, those don't fit. We're limited to like 5 inches. 5 and 3-inch guns. I mean, I guess we could fit some 3-inch up in the superstructure. It's kind of a... Oh, really what it wants me to use, though, is 2 inches. Can I use 2-inch triples and then make them 2.9s? Okay, just put them all in. Good. Yeah, so let's make them 2.9s. So they are 3-inch guns. It's just the mounting points will accept them. Yeah, the lack of secondaries does concern me, but I don't know how I can squeeze in a decent secondary battery without lengthening the ship. And then we're getting into something that's a lot bigger. I guess I could. How big are we talking to get that extra length? We aren't. That's as long as the ship gets. Interesting. Maybe this is a more focused design? Maybe it is just simply faster. Potentially. Now, do you know what? Let's build out the rest of the ship and see where we are. Turtleback, that's a new tech. Well, yeah, was it base fuse I was using before? Yeah, base fuse is probably fine. And the RDF 14. Let's go 3. Might actually need a little bit more deck protection. I'll trim those down in a minute. 16. 5. Can't put armor on the 2-inch guns. Right, let's trim this to 3 and this to 2% overweight. Let's trim this to 10, 8, 7, 6, 5. There we go. Eventually got there. Because, yeah, I don't really have the displacement to put on secondaries. And if I was doing only 30 knots, I only get 2%. So, yeah, I think we're going to go for this. They're a little bit more expensive than the Eternus. They do carry an extra 15-inch gun, of course. Which, you know, could be significant. And they're 2 knots faster. A more focused design. But not perfect by any means. I do like them, though. They're very... the British never built a ship like this, although they did think about this armament for the KG-5s at one point. KG-5s being a bit slower than this. But yes, the Torres Vedras, for 36,000 tons, full load, that's a pretty nice ship. Yes, but they're definitely not a replacement. I see them as a partner to the Eternus. So I could build this one. Could build 2. Build another 2. Because I do still need to get some more armoured cruisers out. I might need to go and get some more light cruisers out as well. And I need to copy-paste that name in. And I will do that off camera. And I will... Wow, I really can only just build 2. I will see you again for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye for now.